Hello, welcome to the lab. This is an introduction to SCRIBEONHIGH. You may be asking, what is that? What is that? What is that? You may be asking what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. Let's go. Okay, so SCRIBEONHIGH. It's a project that was started in 2024. It basically was part of the Liberation Generation Fellowship for Center for Story-Based Strategy. That was me throwing something. And Center for Story-Based Strategy, basically, they do this really cool thing where they make storytelling tools for organizers and political peoples. And basically, if I had to summarize it, it's like if you took that girl on YouTube who was like, that thing is problematic because X, Y, and Z. Here are the things that are happening that makes this problematic, and then you like made it not for ad revenue and like made it useful and had it do something practical in the world. That's basically, yeah, it's similar analysis tools, and then you also take her marketing strategy because she really is doing numbers on the site. But yeah, Scribe on High specifically was made in a fellowship with them, and the project itself was basically the psyops division times just like if you took the psyops and then you put them on deep water, just very very deep in the water. And it was created in response to honestly my own life. It's a response to the crazy things that happen when you like live in a body that's not like white or male or like able-bodied or cis. And sometimes psychological warfare happens. I'm just saying, it's actually a real thing. It is real. It is a fact of life. If you have ever lived, you know what stigma is? Psy wars. Fun fact. And the goal of Scribe on High is basically to attack the core mechanisms of it. And at one point when I started, I was the little guy in the middle of that bell curve. I was the guy in the middle of the bell curve. Now I'm on the bottom of the bell curve because I don't care about anything anymore, and the disillusionment has taken hold. And really, all I want to do at this point is infer. It's on the meme. You can read. Hopefully, you can read. I hope you can read. Sometimes they've been messing people up in school now. But the two things that Scribe High is meant to attack is able-bodied supremacy and gender normativity. Two words that I do not like saying because they sound really complex and funny. That it's like words you only know if you do a lot of research, and research makes me want to cry sometimes. But basically, if I had to summarize those in very brief and straightforward, here's how I do it. Look, like this is how it's gonna go. Okay, ready, set, okay. Your gender. Say this after me. Your gender is as real as your job description. It was made up by some weird guy. You can rewrite it if you want. Like, honestly, like, it really isn't that special. It's very old. The guy who wrote your job description, he's not even your boss anymore. He was like your boss's 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 boss, and you like work at the US military or something. You probably don't anymore. But you inherited it, and it's a silly role. The terms of it are kind of outdated, and they don't really work anymore, and they haven't worked for like the past 70 years. You're like, I feel so emasculated as a man because I'm not able to be a good enough provider. And I'm like, baby, newsflash. The economy has not been there for you to be a provider for like the last 50 years. You just can't even fulfill that role anymore. Maybe redefine it. Redefine it for yourself and maybe call it something else. Maybe you don't want to be a man. Maybe you want to be a maybe you want to be a pill bottle. Maybe you want to be a pill bottle this week. You can be a pill bottle this week. What does it mean to you to be a pill bottle? Girl, I don't care. Just tell me. What are your pronouns now? Pills? That's cool. I'm down with it. I'm rocking with you. We love you, Mr. Pill Bottle. Um, all right. Thing number two. um, thing number two about that is gender normativity also is a thing because, to be honest, gender is not historically did not always exist. Women were not always women. Men were not always men. Other cultures have had other names for it, so for forever. Doesn't really matter who you are. It hasn't always been the same role. That role has changed over time, and we are allowed to change it again. That's what I mean by gender normativity, and that's basically the intervention. The idea that everything about your gender is fixed and set in stone. It's to keep you in the job, the really bad job that you have at the U.S. military. You should leave it if you haven't been fired already. Your days are numbered. Uh, Hexeth is knocking at your door. Anyway, The next thing is able-bodied supremacy. This one's not nearly as fun. Uh, your body has limits, and yeah, it will decay over time. It's gonna decay and weaken. Disability is not an if; it's a when. Just saying, your ability to achieve and produce is not promised to you, and it won't protect you from pain. I'm just saying, it's not. It really isn't. It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you special. Progressively, while I'm recording this, I'm slowly removing more and more clothing. It's great you can't see me. And yeah, your ability to produce, it just won't protect you. It will not protect you. You are not safe. You are not safe anywhere. Pain is a reality of life. If you think you're special because you could do a billion things, you're not. You're not. You're just not. If you poop on other people because they can't do as much as you're not special and you should stop. If you're just like cool and you think anybody who needs like something special for their work or accommodations or whatever is like less than, or like people who can't do the same things or can't achieve the way you think they should are less than you don't. That's silly. That's just able-bodied supremacy. If you build systems where certain people cannot exist, uh Luigi, I'm calling him ring a ding ding. Anyway, so Supa's method was basically created to make that stop because it's some nonsense. But like, I'm just one girl. I'm one girl sitting in a rollator, in a bedroom somewhere, and I alone am not the one who's gonna make it stop. But us collectively, maybe we could. Maybe we could. Maybe. But basically, Supa's method, in short, was based on stitching together methods of creativity that for me come from, like, I don't know, experiences with art and gender and the ways that I learned to think about life in a very like cultural I don't know what the word is for that. It's the fancy like theory word. I don't know what you call it. Cultural relativism, girl. Cultural relative. What is the word? It's like cultures are like maps of I don't know, but it's like that. You see things as malleable. You see the ideas, you lay them out, you see them as just ideas, things that you can change, things you can intervene in, things you can create from, things that are like prompts. It's something that I did a lot as a poet. And then, the other part of it is intervening in ableism and able-bodied supremacy. So part of a lot of the stuff is that not only does Supa's method like make art and stuff, it also like can intervene if you're having like a huge issue. Like that was part of what I used it for in this run, is like, hey, does this way of working not work for you? Let's spin it into 30 different ways. Okay, and then we can try each of them. um like making a recipe for soup, said you can't cook it in the pot like that, but girl, you have this other pot over here, you have an instant pot, maybe you can't cook it on the stove today, but you know where you can cook it, in the microwave. See, straightforward. Okay. And the bulk of Supa's method, which is beyond the intervention into the thingies, was really marketing strategy. To be quite honest, it's marketing strategy, social network analysis, marketing strategy, developing art pieces, like, and putting it on like 10, just putting it on 10, and then spicing it up with things that make it a little less like, I'm going to try and sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Because honestly, marketing as a field, as a whole, is something that only exists because Freud did too much cocaine and then had a nephew who really loved him, and then made a lot of money off of a book that then made everybody into a shell of a human being that he wanted to manipulate into doing whatever they wanted. And that really worked. Oh my goodness, did it really work? And now we live with everything that we have because they were like, you know what, we can control and tap the desires of human beings. And, this is part of what Super method is about, is like, hey, what if we like untapped it? What if we like untapped it? What if those desires were ours instead or something? What if it was like, maybe instead of being sad, we were like happy? Maybe instead of like hating everything and being like, I can only be this way. I only have to be this way. I have to buy the I have to buy the new I have to buy the Goku shirt and the black Air Forces to be a man. Otherwise, I'm a girl. And that was the only way the gender was constructed. and you like have to get like a pinstripe dress or something to be a woman. I don't know. Like what if it wasn't that? What if it was like the marketing was not made to construct your identity? What if we made things that instead of constructing your identity went from, hey, you are this way, and then you want to make a thing that can influence people to understand this thing that you understood. Basically, that's part of what we use it for. And it also has a lot of research behind it to make that marketing less like marketing-y. Yep. Okay, next thing. So here's the book. The book is called A World for Us. It's an interactive poetry collection, and it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's really cool. It has a playlist, it has workshop prompts, it has poems, and it has collages. It's kind of cute. It was basically a thing that I made because I was like, just want to use what I have to make a thing, and I don't really care what that thing is. And I have a lot of experience with poetry. So I was like, girl, I'm just going to throw this together. And I make a lot of digital art, and you can do that on your phone for $2.11 on Sketchbook Pro. So, hey, we got it. We made it. It's a thing now. It's pretty. You can hold it in your hands if you want. And here's how it was built. So it was built on these three cards. These three cards were pulled at random in like March of 2024 or whatever. And I was like, I want to make something from these. And these three cards are the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Those three cards are the main themes. So you have theme number one, which is the key theme. That is the most important theme. The other two on the bottom are the supporting themes. They help it out. They support it. They make sure it doesn't die in the process of being a key theme. Being a key theme is not very straightforward. When you're a key theme, you get beaten over the head about 1,000,000 times. It's like being a main character, except the people who are beating you over your head are definitely not the other characters. They're the people who watched the movie. Um, anyway, next. Did you hear the instant pop beep? That's my soup. Um, so the key theme is the Five of Diamonds. Um, and this basically created all of the things that became like core to how it works, how SCRIBEONHIGH works for this first iteration. And the first one is called A World for Us. That's the book. I told you about the book. It has a resource list and a playlist. Check the link in the description below. You can see the resource list and the playlist, and also the book if you want to purchase it or purchase an ebook copy. It is there. I hope you enjoy it. And then the Crash Out calendar, which it sounds like a joke. It's not. That calendar is there. Basically, it was something I was developing and using because I was watching a lot of Autism Chrysalis's, a really cool YouTuber who does a lot of content around preventing autistic burnout, has free workshops on her YouTube channel. You should go watch it if it's like pertinent to you. The saved my life. But basically, I took that and applied it to a calendar, and used it and tracked energy and what impacted what symptoms I was having, moon cycles, because all of those things are like important when your brain is funny, and it's always paying attention to things that you aren't consciously paying attention to, but it certainly is impacting it. Anyway, said, you ever been neurodivergent before? IYKYK. If you know, you know. Just saying. And then I made a sculptural installation called Our Voices Will Inherit the Earth. That was a whole other thing. I'm not really gonna get into that one here. Partially because I'm kind of sad because that sculpture burned in a fire and it's gone now. Yeah, R.I.P. It was a mistake, and the sculpture burned, and it was so sad. We miss her, but hopefully it'll get remade in 2025. But basically, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's. Oh, I gotta go find the book. Oh my goodness. Okay, so okay, now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing it. Okay, you're seeing it now. You're seeing it. Okay, you're seeing it. So where is the book? Shoot. This is so chaotic. I can't with me. Um, where is this book? Oh my god. Okay, where's the book? I lost the book. I lost my book. Where did I put my book? Ah! Ah. Oh, there it is. Under my chicken drumsticks. It's under the drumsticks. It's under the drumsticks. Okay, hello. So basically, the key theme here, the number one key theme is Five of Pentacles. Now, the thing about Five of Pentacles, most people who read tarot off rip will be like, okay, so it's about unwillingness to ask for help. That's what that card means. It's generally how it's read. I've heard a lot of people read it that way. I think that's silly because they have if you look closely at that card, homeboy has a leopard bell on. This is something I took from a book called Red Tarot, but like, yeah, he has a leper bell on. They did not mess with lepers. The churches, the people did not mess with lepers. They like isolated them. They left them outside. They just let them die. They were like, y'all, lepers, we don't need you. R.I.P. Go away. A dude was made a saint because he was like chill with the lepers. I'm just saying. He was chill with the lepers, and he was like really holy or whatever. So they made him a saint. Just saying, it's that kind of thing. So basically, the highlights of the book is one of the main things that I really loved about it, and developing it was like choosing out symbols. So some of the symbols that I chose throughout the book were mainly in colors, color themings, story motifs around like anger and rage and disability. Also, the black hole was a big one because I felt like that was just like a symbol that related to me a lot. Um, and then as you flip through the book, you can see those themes kind of stitched together. You can see them construct the story over time, where you can kind of see how I'm asking these questions of like, okay, what does it like mean to be a person in the world, and like want more, just like basic, art questions. Like, girl, what if you wanted more than the nonsense? What if you were like, I want to imagine something past the nonsense? And then you put it in art form and you were like, wow, more than the nonsense? So true. Um, and yeah, and then you take the Queen of Diamonds and King of Cups. Those are like the mother and father of that section, right? And they support the king, the Five of Pentacles in not losing it. So the King of Cups here is mostly in the waters, is in the collages about water, in the collages about like um all of that. It's in the collages about water. It's in Seafarer's Song. It's really the core thread of the book. The Queen of Pentacles is literally the core thread. She's the one stitching the gold thread. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of like, hey, I have been there. I have moved past this thing. Five of Pentacles, I see you. I saw the nonsense. I have figured out how to make the nonsense a thing that's worthwhile. She's the one who's like successfully made nonsense into sense. Cha-ching. And basically is using that to move forward. So that's what the Queen of Pentacles is in this book mainly. And it's also like the resilience, the adaptability, the thought process, the making something out of nothing. That's the vibe. That's the Queen of Pentacles vibe. We love the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, yes, yes. So those are the basic overviews. And yeah, that's just a basic introduction. And if you are interested in seeing more or getting a workshop in this method, because as I said, it does make prompts as well. If you would like to see any resources about Scribe on High or Supa's method as a whole, please visit the link in in the description. Visit the link in the description. And it's www.scribeonhigh, and there's also like resources if you want to use them. Or you can go on the link to sign up to the newsletter. The newsletter is where you can get all the information, because I really do not like social media. I have hated social media since I was a small child. I do not want to be part of it anymore. I'm trying to get out of here, y'all. If you gave me your address, I would mail you zines. Like, please sign up for the newsletter. I can't stand it. Anyway, and Airtable, if you want to go on the Airtable form and click there and like fill out the form if you're interested in the Crash Out Calendar workshop or getting it for somewhere that you want it to be shown. That is the one workshop that I have right now, and I'm working on others. So if you'd like to see that workshop, or you'd like to have it shown somewhere where you want to display it to other people, or if you'd be willing to sign up for it, to see it live, then sign up on the thing. Sign up on the thing. It's all good. You can sign up on the thing. You can sign up on the Airtable link, and I will respond eventually over the newsletter. And signing up to both of those because you signed up to the newsletter. And if you're interested, you can buy a book. But that's, I just wrote the book because I needed to write the book. It was a catharsis. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a good time, even if it was a little wild. And I hope you have soup now, because my soup is done. And I hope your soup is done soon too. I didn't tell you to make soup, but you should. Soup is great. Uh, Lab end.